But yes, 2020 has been a very, very unusual year. And I don't want to get into it because I know some guys that listen to us are into the conspiratorial side of things. Others toe the government line. Although, to be fair, if Boris Johnson told me it was raining, I wouldn't believe him if he was fucking wet. But all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe everything that dithering cunt says about fucking some virus he doesn't understand. By the by, a vaccine's on the way, which someone on Twitter reliably informed me, well, it was made so quickly because they had it ready and it only needed a small tweak to be ready. Straight up, a small tweak. A small tweak to a vaccine that's never been approved for human use before. I don't know how small that tweak was. I've been told it's full of dead babies. Not true. I am going to watch and see what happens to the old people. And if they do go a bit runny and horrible, I might not have it. But if everything looks okay, I might have it because I have an 8-year-old son who deserves to be allowed to go places without everyone saying that his dad's a plague-carrying, unclean monster and he's not allowed in the shopping centre. Life comes with compromises. It's easy to be idealistic and take your stand if you're in your late teens, early 20s with no responsibilities, or like some of the people that tell me, 45, living at home, smelling of feet and stale semen. You know, either or, really, either or. So we're looking at vaccines, we're looking at all this, but let me tell you guys something. There's something that I think we overlook far too often. For the guys that are in the chat now, for the people that might watch this afterwards, we don't have tremendous reach, but there's something we miss out on. People in my government are shit. I don't care what party it is. It's shit. In your government, they're shit. If you're in the States, Democrat, Republican, they don't give a fuck about you. Like Graham was saying earlier, they're friends with each other. None of them are friends with you. And if there is a politician that is, they're kept so far away from power that it doesn't matter. The media is polarizing us, making us hate one another, making us report our neighbours for something that we don't have to report them for. We're dealing with scientific data that makes no sense. It came out today that out of the 50-odd thousand admissions to hospital in the UK with COVID were people that were already in hospital with something else that meant they had to be in hospital who caught COVID anyway. And out of them, 5 to 10% required treatment for the COVID. The rest were asymptomatic or with very mild symptoms. We're tearing ourselves apart. We're focusing on petty, stupid fucking disagreements that do not matter because we failed to remember that people can have different opinions and we can sit there and we can argue and we can take the piss and it's still all right. Because the only people we can depend on are each other. Not the authorities, not the governments, not anyone else. Just each other. And that's it. Now, I'm not saying we should all have a big group hug because it's Christmas, or that we should all take warm baths and rub essential oils into each other's thighs. If it's your thing, you're free to do that, of course. But you know what? Fall out, disagree, but stand together when we need it. And I don't mean to fight. You don't have to fight. Sometimes just stand together and ask one simple word, one question that comprises of one word. Why? Because we're seeing it here in the UK. In Greater Manchester, we've been basically in some form of lockdown for 9 months. No one asks, why? Not enough of us have got together to say, why? How does it work? Show us the proof. Show us actual data and don't just slip it out and hope no one fucking notices. Show us why in this country are we killing 200,000 people over the next couple of years because of lockdown. That's not me pulling those figures out my arse, by the way. The government released those figures. Lockdowns will kill 200,000 fucking people. Reasonable to low estimate. Not COVID, lockdown. Whether it's, people not getting the treatment and slipping into stage 4 cancers, diseases that aren't picked up on. Never mind just that, we've then got to look at the people that are going to kill themselves, the mental health issues, the businesses lost, the people in destitution and poverty because of this. Now, it's nobody wants to choose who gets to die, but if someone says to me, you can choose 300,000 people or 6,000, 7,000 people dying solely from that disease who are already at the age people normally die, I'm going to go for the smaller number because that's how society works. But you see, the thing is, we can see them. We can see those. We don't see the 200,000 people over the next 2 years who die quietly out of the public view. But everyone that dies of COVID ends up in the fucking newspaper. Take a step back from your team sports just for a little while. You know, just take a little breather from it. Accept people are different. And it doesn't mean they're stupid just because they reach a different conclusion to you. Support each other. Make your own shows. Shout it from the fucking rooftops on social media, anonymously or otherwise. Push it out there. And I think one thing we've kind of learned from this year when we were streaming every day for months and then Steve's taken over the pub is that when we do come together, it's really fucking cool as well. And we get to meet really cool fucking people and hang out. And, you know, some people support each other and offer support. And you see people through the shit, no matter what they believe. Religion, politics, fucking gender, sexuality, no matter what it is. It's not us against each other, it's us versus them. It's never been any different, and it's worse now than it's ever been. So, you know, there's times to be a cunt. There's times to be a little bit less of a cunt. Let's try and be, well, as much of a cunt as you can most of the time, to be fair, but when we're looking after each other, let's just pull it back a wee bit and have a wonderful fucking Christmas as best we can with the ridiculous fucking measures being put in place. I believe Wales is still closed. Do the best you can. Have the best time with your families that you possibly can. I'll be there. And, you know, I hope, genuinely for all of us, next year at least starts to lighten up a little and that you'll not only survive but thrive, not only exist but live. You're not going to kill Granny, most likely. Live a little.